Hey guys, it's Mana here, and we are back with Lucid9 finally. I think I'm going to do about an hour long one of these, because I know this is getting long. Ouch, sorry. When we last left off, forever and a half ago, we were still at the amusement park, and we were about to pick where we were going, I guess. So, let's just jump right back in and see what happens, see if we can solve a murder mystery. Well, no one else in the group is budging, so I guess it's up to me. Bot fight arena. So many choices. A pop-up box in the upper corner of the map catches my attention. Live, Lemonscape Bot Showcase. The future of gaming. Intrigued, I note the showcase is located further down the path. Say, what do you guys think about this? I point at the announcement. Robots? Hey Cap, do you think they'll be fighting giant monsters? I can say with certainty that they won't. Sounds fun. I say we give it a shot. Okay, any objections? Yes, your shoes, minion, need an upgrade. Why, you haven't brought a new pair since I first met you. Objections to the bot showcase. Let's go. Wait, smiling? Genuinely? For non-food related reasons. I don't think I've ever seen Irie so excited. Yeah, we can pop by. If it's not interesting, we'll go do something else. No one else says a word. I take this as confirmation and head down the path. Just behind a metal building, a modest portable stage is set up, flanked by screens projecting a live, closer view. A row of assorted small mechs are lined up at the edge of the stage, in front of which stands a Lemonscape representative. It's Grover Mecker, but in real life. We settle right in front of the stage. There's not many viewers besides us. Looks like the staff is still setting up. I wonder if they'll let people actually try them. I hope so. What use is showcase if the target audience can't even try it? I don't know. These kinds of things usually involve demonstration matches to make the technology look a lot better than it actually is. That doesn't seem likely. They may just choose a victim to beat up. That ain't fair, man. Whoever they choose to represent, Lemonscape will probably be as unstoppable as the final boss. It doesn't matter. It's a game, and games must be played by the rules. I'm about to ask Irie what exactly this cryptic piece of information means, but a blast from the speakers quickly ends our conversation. Come one, come all, and see your favorite of the top-of-the-line fighting bots straight from Lemonscape Laboratories. Robotics fans, you might want to listen up. A crowd begins to form behind us, attracted by the representative's announcement. I notice that a wide majority of people are young adults. Lemonscape definitely knows their target audience. This is one of our state beta testers, Raiden Rumble Ajibana. Sorry if I said that wrong. He'll be showing you some of the awesome stuff that this new generation of bots can do. The representative steps back from the stage, leaving room for a big man with short cropped hair to step to the front, holding up his robot of choice. It's medium-sized, around as big as my head, sleek in shape and boasting beautiful colors of deep cobalt and silver. The crowd oohs and ahs in anticipation. Appreciation, sorry. Oh mama, I've gotta get me one of those. The beta tester, Rumble, steps back and gently lays the robot on the stage. Cameras zoom in for a better view, ready to capture the action. The crowd waits with bated breath as Rumble cracks his knuckles. He holds out his hand, into which the representative places a sleek controller. The Mayfly ascends, performs its duties required, and it is no more. Suddenly, the robot is alive in a whirl of silver and blue, leaping around the stage like a dancing grasshopper. Rumble smiles confidently as his hands fly over the controller, stringing together flawless combos like the world's most skilled fighting gamer. Wow! Art and movement. Amazing. The crowd claps wildly. I already see several young men digging out their phones and punching rapidly at their screen, no doubt reworking their budget. I might not understand gaming, but I can definitely appreciate skill. Rumble brings the routine to a slow, letting the robot pirouette like a professional ballerina before sweeping into a curtsy. He's met with an even louder round of applause. Thank you, Rumble. Wonderful work. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. We're going to open up the floor. Would anyone like to face Rumble? The representative grins with a slight touch of cockiness. I'll make you guys a deal. If you manage to defeat Rumble in a best of 3, you can take one of these robots home with you. And with confidence I have never seen before, Irie's hand shoots up into the air. As the rest of us balk openly at her, the representative's eyes sparkled, no doubt seeing a small girl as an easy prey for Rumble. Miss, come up to the stage. Irie gracefully, a little too gracefully, vaults onto the stage, ignoring the representative's extended hand. What's your name, miss? Irie Hiraga. Sorry, I totally botched that. I see that you're wearing an academy uniform. What year are you in? 2nd. And how are you finding it? Fine. Great conversationalist, I see. So, why do you want to try your hand against Rumble, if I might ask? Irie stares blankly at her hand for a moment. Uh-oh, she might not know what try your hand actually means. I'm not trying. Whoa, what bold words. Miss Hiraga claims that she doesn't even need to try against Rumble. I'm pretty sure that's definitely not what Irie meant. Rumble, what do you have to say to that? The insect believes itself to be king over insignificance. And Rumble's retort is just as strong. Well, folks, are you excited or what? The crowd cheers, egged on by the representative's skilled hype building. Blah, blah, blah. I found myself wishing for Irie to crush Rumble to the ground. Irie has a tough road ahead of her. That rep is just twisting her words, man. It builds hype. It's exciting, in my opinion. Come on, guys, let's root for Irie. Give me an A! A! Give me an I! I! Give me an... Shush, they're talking. The disorganized team cheer immediately dies down as Representative pulls the microphone back to her lips. Let's see what our bot challenger will select for herself. Miss Hiraga, feel free to pick any of the bots from the row. Irie contemplatively paces down the row, stopping from time to time. It feels less like she's stuck with indecision and more like she's examining the robots down to their basic molecules. Pick the coolest one! Pick the cutest one! Pick the most effective one! Pick the one you can beat him with. Blah, blah, blah. Pick the most innovative one. Pick a peck of pickled peppers. Irie ignores the incoherent din from our group and eventually settles on a humble, boxy little robot at the end of the line. The crowd goes completely silent in shock at her decision. Tell me about this bot. Are you sure about your choice? I need more information. Oh, right. This is a tricky little guy. Most of the testers weren't exactly sure what to do with him. He looks very unintimidating, but don't be mistaken. If you play your cards right, you can change his form by extending or contracting the panels on all of his sides. It's extremely flexible, hence why testers are still having a go to figure out the best way to use him. I see. He is challenging? The most, but not very beginner-friendly, Miss Hiraga. Then I select him. Why does it sound like she's looking more for a challenge than a victory? Very well. Our ambitious challenger is certainly looking for an upset. Let's get ready for round 1. Irie sets her humble little bot at the edge of the ring, exactly opposite Rumble's spot. The representative hands her a controller. Irie frowns when she sees it. Is this for the bot? Of course, it's certainly not for my television. The crowd's answering chuckle almost drowns out Irie's response. Oh, yeah. It looks exactly like Rave Red, I don't know. The representative completely ignores her and instead lifts her hand into the air, ready to cue the match. Rav Red? What the heck is that? Round 1, Rumble versus Challenger. And fight! The crowd cheers as the representative chops her hand down. The stage erupts with lightning, signifying the start of the round. For a moment, Rumble charitably sits back, letting Irie experiment with her bot. From what I can tell, it's essentially a box on wheels. I watch it roll forward, watch it roll backward, watch it roll side to side. Then one of its sides falls down. No, wait, the entire side is a matrix of smaller panels. Interesting. Seems like the entire box can be transformed, give or take a few limitations. But instead of experimenting further, Irie only retracts the panel and extends the opposing side. Seems like she doesn't really know what to do. Oh, I don't see it that way. What do you mean? You should ask Yahiko. He plays quite a few games, you know. Since when has Misaki known Yahiko more than me? My curiosity overtakes me, and I eke over to Yahiko. Do you know what she's doing? She'll try a basic attack next. I watch the stage. Sure enough, one of the robot's sides turns away and swivels on a tiny limb like a miniature sharp-edged shield. Now a 6A214B. A what? The bot repeats its shield cut attack and suddenly hoists the panel over and behind it. Yahiko seems extremely pleased. She might try something a little more complex next, like a 6A 8-hit C and 6C2D. The clumsy-looking box suddenly moves in a whirl of rotating panels. I can't tell what's happening, but it seems to just make Yahiko even more excited. I knew it. It's just like Rav Red. What's Rav Red? But he doesn't answer me, because Rumble has started to move. His bot elegantly skates around Irie's, which is still rolling cheerily around and flipping its sides. One quick sharp blow sends the poor boxy bot crashing straight into the edge of the ring. Ooh, that one's got a sting. The bot shakily rights itself and starts wheeling away from Rumble, tearing down the ring like a panicking civilian in the middle of a war zone. Even as it flees, I see Irie experimenting with some structural changes, like extending, flipping, and morphing its panels to create different shapes. She doesn't even try to land an attack on Rumble's bot. Basically, she's trying to understand the bot's identity. She's going through its moves systematically. Do you think she has a chance? Only if she finds something really unique that beta testers would never expect. Unfortunately, it's at this moment when Rumble predicts Irie's walk path and flies at her bot, crushing it decisively into the ground. The representative whips down her hand, even as segments inside the bot's piece back together. The winner of this round is Rumble. The crowd politely claps. It's clear that to their eyes, Irie doesn't have a fraction of a chance against this experienced beta tester. But I saw some promise in the way she was messing with the form of her bot. A bot with structural changes. As you can see, it takes only a few seconds for a bot to repair itself. No more long waiting between rounds. Players, are you ready? Irie nods quietly, a faint smile flickering across her lips. Rumble says nothing. Round 2, and fight! This time, Rumble immediately explodes into action. His bot leaps gracefully at Irie's. Irie barely manages to swerve it away before the ground where it was standing is angrily dented. Rumble's assault is relentless. He never allows a single second for Irie to recover, chasing doggedly after her bot without a break. Not once does his bot lose its footing or crash into the wall. Such is the extent of his control. And then, right before his latest jump is about to crash into Irie flattens her bot into half its original width with a swirling mass of panels, narrowly dodging Rumble's strike. She takes a split second required for Rumble's recovery to bounce back to original size, slamming panels straight into Rumble's back in an unhurried, smooth combo. Yahiko grins wildly as Irie's bot pummels Rumble around in a terrifying wall pin. Dude, her combos are slick. I should fight her sometime. As he's finishing this sentence, Rumble's bot suddenly shimmers and gives off a short pulse of energy, sending Irie's bot flying back. Dude, I didn't know these bots had bursting. I have no clue what he's saying, but that doesn't stop me from enjoying the match. Irie is clearly getting the hang of her bot. She changes into diagonals, L-shapes, patterns, and even faux curves to dodge Rumble's attacks. Sometimes his bot lands a glancing blow, but it's never severe enough to catch her in a combo. Finally, she managed to curve around his bot and slam one final combo into its backside, sending it crashing into the ring. The crowd claps, but this time, they seem much more impressed. Even the representative looks surprised. Solid display, Challenger. This round goes to you. Rumble's face is completely motionless. He doesn't even look dismayed. Dude, this next round is going to be so intense. What do you mean? You'll see. Within seconds, Rumble's bot has reassembled itself and returned to its original position. Irie is smiling in utter satisfaction as she's completely forgotten that the audience exists at all. Maybe she's just having fun playing with the bot. The final deciding round, ladies and gentlemen, will Rumble be able to redeem himself, or will a challenger score an unprecedented underdog win? 3, 2, 1, fight! If I thought the last match was intense, this one is just a blur of color and motion. It's clear that Rumble is no longer holding anything back. His bot moves with crazy speed, but above all, total control and precision. Irie's movements are clearly Rufford. Even though she's mastered the structural reorganization of her bot, it almost looks like she's not used to 3D space. Come on, Irie, you can do it! The fate of the world rests on your shoulders, chosen one! Irie barely skates out of Rumble's favorite landing combo, but she turns so sharply that her bot stumbles away. Rumble's lips twitch into a smirk. It was an honor, but your time draws to an end. May you make your peace. And he hits her solidly, sending her bot flying into the air. Yahiko winces. It's over. Air combo into a ground pound. But as Rumble leaps after Irie, she flattens into a vertical plank that better cuts through air resistance, falling before he can land a blow. Although surprised, Rumble reorients his bot to hold out its foot for a single devastating dive kick. I don't see how she can get out of this. Trying to change forms and move will take too long, but she can't move while she's still a plank. And if she does return to her usual form, the kick will put so much heavy damage on the bot that I don't see her recovering the match. This must be the end of the series. Then I see Irie's fingers flying over the controller, and her boxy bot rapidly disassembling into a condensed brick. And then I understand. As Rumble's bot soars forward, foot extended, ready to strike the killing blow, Irie's bot melts into an indestructible brick, settled on the ground, biding its time. And then, just the right moment, Irie mashes her hand on the controller. The metal brick springs upward, slapping right into Rumble's bot, and sproing! And as if in slow motion, Rumble's bot sails into the air, flipping in a perfect double axel head over heel right over the bounds of the fighting box, and plummets into the middle of the audience. Silence stretches on as the crowd tries to process what just happened. The mic drops from the representative's hand, barely and mercifully muted in time before it hits the stage. Rumble stares blankly at his controller as if he's trying to wake himself from a dream. Irie stares blankly at her controller as if she's suddenly and uncontrollably hungry. Fists of our cheering team are stopped mid-pump in the air, looking like we're in the middle of a half-hearted fist fight. And then, the winner of the round, and therefore the set, is Irie Hiraga, the new challenger. The representative numbly stammers these words, still in shock. Another moment of dead silence passes. Then the crowd erupts into cheers. She did it, dude! Look at the moves! Look at the plays! Irie, what was that? She won! She really won! It was incredibly impressive. That tiny one's got some surprises up her sleeves. And I scored a perfect shot on the winning moment. Irie stands to her feet with a broad smile, bowing politely at her opponent. Rumble doesn't seem the least bit irritated. Truly, on this day, we have met well in wartime. Challenger Irie. He bows his head in respect, solemnly walks into the crowd to pick up his bot, and disappears behind the stage. Wow, how incredible! Despite all odds, it seems as if the challenger has come away victorious. Miss Hiraga, what are your thoughts on Miss Hiraga? But Irie has already walked to the edge of the stage, seemingly ignorant of the representative's queries. She quietly leaps down, only to get swarmed by our group. Good job, Irie. That was amazing. You really showed them. How were you able to understand the system so quickly? The controller plays just like Red. The fighting game, right? Yeah, you play? But of course, you see, the Red Mecha Warrior was actually the inspiration for the design of President J. Graves' bot. Just like all roads lead to Rome, all of Yahiko's comments lead to Grover Mecker. I see. Perhaps we should play sometime. She sounds hesitant at the idea, but I can't discern why. Maybe she doesn't want to play with Yahiko, but then she wouldn't want to make the offer in the first place. I'm down. They walked back down the road, chattering eagerly about video games, of all things, completely ignoring the hapless representative. Come to think of it, wasn't Irie supposed to win one of the robots? Not that she seemed to care. I wonder if we should accept Irie's robot for her. It's not our choice, Miki. I know. I lead the group back to the map, showing some mercy on the poor representative. After all, her higher-ups can't be too happy about bargaining a new prototype on a whim. It's probably best if we let this be, considering that the only person who deserves to care is Irie. And Irie, well, she seemed happier about playing with the bot than the actual victory itself. Irie and Yahiko are already waiting for us by the campus map. Dude, you guys are so slow. Maybe you're just always in a rush to go places. Some people like leisurely walks. Leisurely walks? We don't have time for that. Look at all the stuff we've got to hit. Yama, my minion, lead us on. You have a good head for efficiency. Do we really have that much stuff to explore? Take a look at the map to verify what we have left. Before I can decide on another attraction, a ringtone cuts through the silence. Masato sheepishly digs his phone out of his pocket. Sorry, alarm. I check my own phone, 6 p.m. Technically Masato's curfew. Thanks for the fun, guys, but I got a piece. I have also some things to do, but this was remarkably fun. Thank you. You guys are leaving? But there's so many more adventures to be had. Honestly, even I'm a bit worn out from all the excitement. I'm heading back too, guys. But you guys should stay if you want. I need to leave as well. Both of you? It's okay, Rui. We'll just have to make up for their ticket costs. Surprisingly, Rui turns to Irie with a smile. Want to try the roller coaster over there? Okay. We exchange quick farewells before Rui, Irie, Akira, and Yahiko race off to a serpentine roller coaster in the distance. I split ways with the others at the academy dorms and head to my apartment. Walking along the streets is a cold reminder of the true state of life. Gone are the festive colors, energetic children, and high-cutting attractions at every corner. Instead, I'm surrounded by digital posters, newspapers, and a faraway whine of police sirens. Oh. That noise you're hearing in the background, that you might be hearing, is Ame trying to eat catnip off of his cat scratcher. Out of curiosity, I steal a glance at the digital newsstand. Mayor Conference will reveal plan over National News Network by next month. Plans, government, all useless. Technically, Isamu is only doing this well due to the efforts of local authority. But I can't trust anyone who's paid to make decisions for everyone other than themselves. Excuse me, you're an academy student. My attention immediately switches from the headlines to a police officer behind me. I immediately feel a thrill of adrenaline through my veins. Calm down, it's not like I've done anything wrong. Yes, sir. Where are you headed? Just passing through. He evaluates me for a moment, with an unreadable expression. Come with me. We've got some questions we need to ask you. No. Bile rises in my throat. I struggle to force my mind into submission. Just follow him. Just follow him. Just... Huh? Oh! Oh! The fuck was that? Where am I? Pulse racing, head spinning, deep breath, freeze my limbs, close my eyes. Right. Apartment, sofa, shelves, plant, kitchen, television. This is my apartment. No threats, no problems, no people. I'm fine. Unhurt. I'm fine. After a few moments where I agonizingly trained my system back into its ordinary psychological state, I checked the time. 9 p.m. 3 hours. Gone. I suffocate the returning sense of panic, rifling through my phone. No new messages, no phone calls, incoming or outgoing, no emails or new appointments. In other words, no idea of what I've been doing, or who I was. Why is it back? It should be gone. I thought it was over. Stop. Calm down. First, my present state. No injuries. I'm full, too, so I guess I ate dinner. I noticed a handful of textbooks strewn around the coffee table. Was I trying to study? They're definitely my textbooks. So, I'm fine. For the moment. Question is, what happened in the gap? I fumble over to the kitchen, digging my anxiety meds out of the cabinet. 5 years. 5 years since I've had these issues. Here I was, thinking that I'd never need them again, allowing myself to forget. Silly me. My vision crosses for a moment as I gulp them down. I'll never get used to that feeling. But thankfully, my pulse slows and my breathing evens out. I let my limbs sink into the sofa, staring idly at the ceiling. Right. I'm fine. Tears surge to my eyes, but they're purely chemical, a response to fright, something that always plagues me after one of these lapses. I get hormonal, like a teenage girl fresh out of a breakup, but it's just my brain lying to me. It likes to do that, my brain. It's a pathological liar. Nor does it stop at these random mood swings. Sometimes the world just seems so distant, shut away, like I'm standing at the edge of the universe. If I had to describe the feeling in a word, surreal. Like I have one foot in the wrong dimension. When I get like this, I have to fight against it. Remember that I'm here. Life's here. The world's here. And there are tastes and smells and sensations for a reason. But sometimes there's just a tiny trickle of doubt in the back of my mind. Am I real? No, not that. Not exactly. Of course, I exist, in the technical sense of the word. But rather, am I sensing everything correctly? If my brain is lying to me about my emotions, what's to say it's not lying to me about anything else? When you hear someone talk, you don't hear it how they deliver it. You hear it how you perceive it, regardless of what their intention is. The frightening, infamous words, "I like you," can be terrified. Or you can be thrilled. You might even be a mixture of both. But the only thing that matters is how you take it, not how the other person said it. Maybe they wanted you to be happy or guilty or angry, but what they want doesn't necessarily carry across. It's the same for when you see something. Everyone looks at an advertisement a different way. Everyone takes fashion sense a different way. Presenting a piece of contemporary art in front of a panel of critics will always gather a wide range of responses, so long as the audience is extensive enough. Nothing is absolute. Everything is just how it's perceived. That's what people like to say. In my opinion, that's the easy way out. But I think there's something absolute. Somewhere, there are rules written in stone, or the essence of an object. Something that's unchangeable and is there whether you like it or not. And yet, if there's something absolute, then some people in their perceptions are right, and others are wrong. What if I'm wrong? What if everything I sense is a lie? Ah, that's right. When lapses happen, I think too much. My former therapist liked to say that I'm just trying to ground myself, re-solidify my values, remember who I am. All I really gather from that explanation is that my brain is a huge pain, over-emotional, overthinking, overbearing. Thankfully, I can already sense that I'm recovering. My heart rate is stabilizing, and my breathing is even. I vaguely remember little bits of advice from my therapist. Ground yourself with something physical. Identify your negative thoughts and replace them. Accept your anxiety. It's a little alien coming back to the process after so many calm years, but I filter through it easily, like getting back on a bicycle after a hiatus. Good. Looks like the spell's passed. I'd better get to bed. Sleep is the fastest way to recover my memories, welcome or unwelcome. For your cooperation, Mr. Ishimoto, would you like one of us to escort you back? I'm fine, thanks. Very well. Be sure to notify us immediately if you notice anything unusual. I will. What possessed me to buy so many groceries? Something doesn't taste right. How did Rui make it again? Got stopped by the police. What for? Public disturbance? I was behaving myself, thank you very much. Uh-huh, sure. They asked me if I saw anything out of the ordinary at school. What did you tell them? I hadn't, but I'd keep my eye out. Wow, such a tame response. I listen to anyone who has the power to put me in jail. Sure you do. Look. What? It's just, I'm not going to be around all the time to watch out for you. You don't need to. No, I'm going to be gone tomorrow, okay? For the morning? What does this have to do with anything? Just, don't be an idiot. Oh, wait, I guess it's impossible. You're in a weird mood. You're weird all the time. See ya. Bye? Time to rise and shine. Sleep is a marvelous thing. Everything looks brighter after a good night's rest. And sometimes when you have random memory lapses, you get to recall events that you were once forced to forget. For example, the police investigation. Thankfully, it didn't look like anything unusual. I should have known that, honestly, since I didn't find myself in prison. But bought groceries, made dinner, called Rui, nothing out of the ordinary. The only potential lapse trigger was being approached by the police. But from the looks of it, I had nothing to worry about. When he looked at his phone when he regained consciousness, there were no new calls. So did he really call Rui? The only potential lapse trigger was being approached by the police, but from the looks of it, I had nothing to worry about. So that leaves me with a typical relaxing Sunday with nothing to do. Good, I can deal with that. What's this? Crimson Crusade at lemonpost.com. Some days I like to look at the sky and figure out what the weather will be like instead of reading the forecast. I'm usually wrong, but it's pretty fun. It feels like you share a secret with the sky. Is there anything you like to do, even if it doesn't make much sense? Whoops! I didn't mean... Oh! I was able to reply! Ha! Sorry, I think you have the wrong address. I'm just about to stuff my phone in my pocket, but it immediately lights up again. I don't think so. What's your name? Right, that's not sketchy at all. My name is Guru Kapulti, and I'm an obese mountain troll who dines upon the flesh of humanity. This time, my phone remains silent for a while. Satisfied, I lower it. God dang it, really? I see. Why do you own a smartphone? The heck? Are you discriminating against me just because I happen to be a mountain troll? And to answer your question, human service providers are much better than troll service providers. What am I even saying? I see. That makes sense. In that case, how has life been as a troll? I can't take this person seriously anymore. I tossed the phone on the table without replying, cramming more cereal into my mouth. What a weird individual. Even if it was kind of fun that they played along. What is it now? Divine Master. Ishiyama, television, post haste. Intrigued, I switched the television on. I'm greeted with yet another lovely news report. Trustworthy sources have informed us that sudden string of disappearances has increased to 3 innocent students. In this trying time, we must look not only for assistance, but for the truth. It is well known that the authorities have recently set their sights on demolishing the infamous forest of Isumu. Curious, really, that this misfortune follows hot on the heels of a recent push for the Building Act. Perhaps in an odd way, the Isumu force is simply fighting back. I immediately shut it off. Sensationalist news, as usual. What does Shiguri want me to see? I don't see anything new. You've never seen anything at all. Look harder. This woman, what's up with her? We already know that there are 3 disappearances. Everything else is just hearsay. The news can't know for sure that the Isimu Force has anything to do with the case. They're just scapegoating it as a part of political movement. Unless Shiguri is saying that the media's accusation is suspicious in and of itself. Come to think of it, why would they be so quick to point fingers at an insignificant little forest? Of all things to blame. Trees? Maybe she wants me to investigate then. Maybe she wants me to investigate. Then again, I'd rather not go alone. Hey. I wait a few minutes, but there's no response. Right. She said she'd be gone this morning. But it's kind of past morning, isn't it? I check up on her social media. No check-ins, no photos, no statuses, not since last night at 11 p.m. After curfew. Back at her dorm. Just like the other 3. Rui? So, I know I sound like a creep, but what are you doing? Still nothing. I struggle to quench the rising sense of panic as I turn to another source. Hey, have you seen Rui? Yeah. Where? Yesterday, dude. We were at the park. Lol. I mean, after that. We went back to the dorms. So you didn't see her? No. When did you last see her? Like 11:30 or something? Why? Nothing. Don't panic. You're overreacting. Keep calm. Akira. Akira would know. Akira's her roommate. Hey. Supperoni, Commander. How goes the date? The what? Bree said she was going to meet up with you this morning. She did? Yeah, she seemed super excited about it, too. She was gone by the time I woke up. So you guys having a great time? Wait. She doesn't know. No one knows. Rui's been gone since 11:30 last night. Disappearances. Forrest, I have to go. Now. I tear out the door and pull up at the nearest bus stop, which just so happens to have a bus parked in front of it. I step to the opening doors, but just before I place my foot on the steps, the narrow entrance seems to squeeze at me from all sides. No, not now. I force myself forward. That is, I try to. My feet shuffle to a halt. The rumble of the bus engine seems to spread through the pavement directly into my bones. Look, kid, are you getting on or not? I'm working on it. My response is just as snappish as his question. Why can't I just put one foot in front of the other? I have more important things to worry about. I need to get to that forest. I've got a route to take, so the doors are closing and... I suck in a deep breath, close my eyes, and throw myself into the bus, shakily pushing my phone against the toll scanner. I don't open them, even as I rush into the nearest seat, groping for a handhold. Right. Bus accident. Right. The doors close and the bus rattles to life, charging down the street. I should be fine. No, I would be fine under ordinary circumstances. If I was with my friends, or if my nerves weren't on edge, or if I wasn't worried about the disappearances. No, there's no use for wishful thinking. I have to keep myself under control. I stagger into the forest when my mind is still spinning. The forest is blocking me on every side as I thrust through the beaten overgrowth. I'd always thought that the government was exaggerating when they didn't want to demolish this place due to bad luck, but now that I'm actually in the midst of it, I can see where they're coming from. I'm not the superstitious type. Never have been, never will be. I take what I see and smell and feel with my own senses. Hearsay is secondary. Emotions are untrustworthy. But there's nothing to rely on, not out here, where everything is wild and flourishing, full of garish color and foreign textures. Some tree sap rubs off on the sleeve of my sweater. It slowly molds from red to green to blue and back, like a chameleon made out of honey. That's not normal, is it? Guess I wouldn't know what's normal around here. It's not exactly a place I would choose for a leisurely walk. From the moment I entered this place, I was under the impression that I stepped into a world where the laws of physics were different. Gravity is heavier. The air is more resistant. Energy seems to sap away into nothingness in favor of being recycled. It's a ridiculous thought. My mind, which has had to cram an unfortunate number of facts about physics and geology, and astronomy and biology, knows this. But why does such an irrational thought seem so appealing? The Isamu Forest, a dense segment of arboreal terrain that's been untouched for decades. When Isamu was growing, the solution seemed obvious. Cut down a good part of it and allow room for new residential areas and corporate buildings. A rational idea, an agreeable idea. So they started demolition with a team built of ordinary, competent individuals ready to do what they've been doing for years. Except when they entered the forest, everything went wrong. In the span of a single day, the group of demolition experts deteriorated into a ragtag bunch of fleeing victims, each claiming a story more ridiculous than the last. A went crazy and killed B. The bulldozers became possessed and started trashing the equipment. Aliens dropped down from UFOs and lasered the charges. The thing was, only half of them had come back alive. Of those half, not one was declared sane. They were all sent to asylums, where they wasted away until their death. It was the gossip of the town, the equivalent of an internet sensation, the Bermuda Triangle of Japan. What a glorious entertainment. A lovely horror story to tell at slumber parties. A stock moral warning for environmentalism. A feast of fodder for the tinfoil hat conspiracists. After all, humans are endlessly fascinated by the misery of others. Over time, the thrill died down. Nothing out of the ordinary was captured on footage. People stopped visiting the area. The wrath of the forest was just another urban legend. But after I researched the event in middle school, after I found that it was a true story, it lurked constantly in the back of my mind. If something was just a group of trees, it couldn't hold that much power, could it? Shouldn't there have been at least one rational soul, someone with a better grip on reality? The only answer to that question is if there really was no way to withstand insanity. Whatever happened those decades ago, it drove 100% of a large group out of their minds. That's a definite success rate. What's to say it won't do the same here and now? I stumbled around the broad trunk of a towering tree, my eyes roving through the gnarled basket weave of spindled branches. What am I looking for? What? Wait, what am I even doing? Why am I here? Take a moment to close my eyes. Deep breath. Ground myself. What am I feeling? What am I smelling? What's that? I pause abruptly, scared to take another breath. Now I'm just being stupid. So I breathe deeply. The air is warm and thick, sliding down my throat with a mixed taste of chocolate and iron. It leaves a sweet residue on the back of my tongue. Trapped. It's the first word that comes to mind, extracting a reflexive stab of panic. You're trapped. My fingers tremble as I reach out to the trunk to steady myself, but they only land on some sticky, milky substance. I quickly pull away, but the tree emits a sickly slurp. Nothing to hold on to. No, I've got to keep calm. I've got to think. Someone's depending on me. Who? Who's depending on... Shigure? Shigure wants me to... No, wait, someone needs my help. Someone... Rui! Rui has been gone since last night. Well, since last year. Yesterday. Rui was gone, and today Rui was gone, and she might be gone forever. You're alone. Roughly shake my head to dispel the fog in my mind. Rui's depending on me. If Rui was kidnapped, would she even be in the Isamu forest? Why am I? Oh, Shigure's task. To investigate the forest? Everything's mixing up in my head. Shigure, kidnapping, Rui, forest. My foot suddenly collapses on something solid. It crunches beneath my feet, and a sweet vapor wafts to my nostrils. Nostrils. That word trips me up every time. I sluggishly turn my gaze underfoot, lifting my shoe. What the hell? Bones. Rui's bones, stabbed into the ground like incense at a funeral. They open their mouths. They start laughing. Their crackles grate in my eardrums, freezing my veins from the inside out. Late. No. I stomp at the bones. They fragment to pieces beneath my feet. The scent only intensifies until it clogs my nostrils. I'm not late. The bones melt, twining and steaming into the earth. A black pool immersed in caramel. They're gone. I'm free. I'm gone. It's okay. The pool congeals into a humanoid figure and sludges over my shoes, dripping blood against my legs. We'll be fine. No. No, 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 damn it, no. I blindly reach into the pool, flinging my arms, tearing it apart. It burns my hands into crumbling residue, but I continue to stubbornly retch at it. It's okay. Get out. Finally, the pool shreds into bits, merging along my arms. My hands rematerialize. The fingers are stained with blood. No. We'll be fine. No. I shake my hands rapidly, but the liquid stubbornly clings to my nails. I rub them against the grass, but even the ground stabs into my fingers. The blood refuses to budge. What's wrong? Shut up, shut up. You're too late. I'm not late. I'm not. I can handle this. I can't handle this. Not anymore. I sink to the ground, overwhelmed with darkness. Bones dance before my eyes. Hey! I jerk up, vision eerily clear. I'm still shaking uncontrollably with my mind blurry. No blood, no bones, no pool. What just happened? What are you doing here? I jump at the sharp voice, which is coming from a stern policeman standing a few meters away. My first reaction is relief, another human being. No more than that, a police officer, someone who can get me out of here. Then I notice that his fingers are gliding over an electric baton at his waist. I quickly raise my hands, trying to pull myself together. Isamu citizen Yama Ishimoto. ID? It takes me a moment to recollect the digits, though through the haze of my thoughts. 532-4895-643. 634. I mean, 532-4895-634. The man pauses, eyes roving across the inside of the site code, probably matching my name and image to the Isamu database. I manage to catch a glimpse of the badge pinned to his chest, which bears Police Captain Katsu Kobayashi in bold, clear-cut letters. A police captain? Here. Why is police captain in the forest? You're an academy student. His sudden prompt snaps me back to reality. Yes. What are you doing here? I work to speak past the lump in my throat. I'm looking for a friend. His eyes clearly darken in suspicion. In the Isamu forest. Yes. I want to bite back, to say something sarcastic, but I'm barely capable of registering sound, much less supplying witty repertoire. Katsu taps his site code, turning to speak to someone over the intercom. Yeah, kid, academy student. 532-4895-634. Non-hostile so far. Understood. He whips back to me, hands still hovering over his baton. I instinctively shrink backward, trying to stay coherent. What's your friend's name? Name? Oh, Shigure. Shigure Enomoto? No. Rui Hayata. What's wrong with me? Rui, she's been missing since yesterday night, 11:30. I saw the news and I thought... Everything coming out of my mouth sounds stilted and contrived. My hands are shaking on the top of my head. How do you know Shigure Enomoto? I know her. Yes, I gathered. How? Case, witness, something. He touches the tip of his site code, then frowns. You are not listed as a witness for any cases within the past 5 years, much less under Shigure Enomoto. Panic bubbles in my stomach and out of my mouth. Assistant! I'm her assistant! You can ask her. What business would Enomoto have in the Isamu forest? I don't know, just stop it all. Look, Yama Ishimoto, I'm not sure you're aware of your position. Given the circumstances of this morning, you're currently our primary suspect. What? He snorts in disbelief, but pauses, his attention suddenly turning to his site code. Superintendent, I believe that... Unverified, hence my suspicions. Remarkable. Understood, sir. He looks to me, eyebrows set in clear distrust. Inamoto has substrained your claim. You are cleared. Sustained. Regardless, you must vacate the premises. My head is still spinning. There's so little that I understand. Primary suspect. This morning, vacate the premises. What's going on? Simply put, you are standing in the midst of a crime scene, without clearance, so get out. Okay. My body acts before my mind does. I instinctively rush away without a word, walking on autopilot. Crime scene. The forest was a crime scene, and I was in the middle of it. Did they find a body? Are their disappearances actually murders? It's only when I return to the city that I come to my senses. Rui's still missing. Furthermore, I didn't even learn anything useful from Isamu Forest. Nothing close to what Shigure insinuated I might learn. If anything, I just made myself a top suspect on the police list. And what the hell did I experience in that furnace? It wasn't a lapse. In fact, I'd never come across something like that before. The closest thing to which I might liken it is being high or drunk, but I don't have a proper frame of reference for either. So, what could have caused it? Aside from that, there's something far more important. Rui's absence. Could she really have been kidnapped? Could she be dead and I wouldn't even know about it? Fragments of my vision in the forest return to me, but I shake them away. No, she has to be fine. I jump as my phone suddenly trills. Despite my calm process of thought, it seems like I'm still on edge. Top of the morning, Commander. Rui's just returned home to home base. Thought I'd let you know. A sigh of relief passes my lips. Rui's fine. No disappearances, no kidnappings, no murders. Well, that was anticlimactic. Still, where has she been? Why didn't she tell me that she was okay? Hey, what's up? What's up with all the spam? I told you I'd be gone all morning. Anger burns through my veins and I jam my phone in my pocket. Spam. Does she know what I've gone through this morning? One little text. That's all I needed. I'm fine. I'm okay. Heck, even go back to sleep, Yama. No, it's not her fault. She did say she would be gone all morning. Damn, I'm a wreck. Now what? Pinged. Isamu Imperial Boarding Academy. Rooftop. A location ping from Miki? Did we arrange something? I don't recall any recent conversations with her. That must be the explanation. Sorry, that was meant for Yahiko. So it was just a mistake. Wait a minute, Yahiko? Why is she meeting Yahiko on the school rooftop? No way. Can't be. They've only known each other for what, 4 days? And Misaki? Misaki has more common sense than that. I need to go to that rooftop. And I am going to call it here, guys. We're about close to an hour, so I figure I could make these a little bit longer so we can get through it a little faster. There are a number of other visual novels that I wanna read with you guys. Yeah. So we'll see what Yahiko and Misaki are getting up to up here. Hopefully nothing inappropriate. So yeah. I'll see you guys later, and remember to do something nice for a stranger today. You may just save a life. Bye!